right, everybody, we are back with The Hunt. I'm Trish, and so excited to welcome our next guest for you today. His name is Ernie Hahn. He is the co-founder of Dream Hahn, which we're going to learn a lot more about in a minute, and Wonder Bus Entertainment. Ernie, welcome to the show. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me, Trish.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, just right off the bat, you got in. So we're broadcasting from Southern California, and what is pretty apropos of folks around here is to get up and go for a morning surf.
Yeah.
Did you get that in?
I did. Got it in. Thank
Feeling
you.
good?
Thanks for accommodating me. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's,
I know. It's gotta keep
if you don't take
right.
it, nobody gives it to you. So if you don't take it,
Absolutely.
gotta
I
get
hear
it
you
early.
there. So let's dive in. We have so much to talk to you about because you have just been in the entertainment space, the marketing space, the branding space for 30 plus years, right? And you've built just an amazing career just off of great relationships and longevity. So take us back to the beginning.
Yeah, well, that's great. I think that's where it starts and kind of where it ends is great relationships and hard work, and then just building a brand or whatever it is you're doing in life, ultimately. But I got started for me back in 1991. Had a chance to start as an event coordinator at the sports arena, and then a couple years later became the business manager. Did all the bookings and all the contracts, and then at an early age, and literally a couple years later than that, I became a really young GM of the building. So I was the GM of that building for 25 years.
So one of the biggest sports arenas probably in the country, right? One of the biggest cities in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was one of the busiest for its size and for its number of seats. We always finished in the top 10 worldwide, and we were number one a couple of years. So just great staff, hard work. We all loved that building. We put a lot of time and effort into.
And we're talking hundreds and hundreds of concerts.
Yeah, and I've been through my life, probably 4,000 events. So just have really enjoyed that part of my career. And we owned a hockey team, and we became concert promoters. Anything you needed to do to survive in the arena business, it was about driving content and then sponsors, relationships.
Has the business changed much from the 90s to now?
It has. It's like all the other things where you used to maybe have mom and pops, people that run things. It's all big companies that run these things. It's big dollars, big companies that run it. But it all comes back to the relationships again. And ultimately, we were very successful there and still are partners in the arena today, which is Pechanga Arena, San Diego.
Absolutely. I was just there. I went to a Journey and Toto concert.
Yes, yes, we're involved with that.
Fantastic, yeah.
Still consult for the arena. We're still partners. But most of my time is now spent with a new venture that I created about a year and a half ago called Dream Hahn. And it's an experiential marketing company.
So what does that mean for the folks listening that maybe not, experienced that before?
Well, and there's not a lot of it in San Diego, but it's really about marketing using different experiences and activations really as that.
So it's like sensorial experience?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything from bringing our Wonder Bus out to an event or any form of activation where people can taste and try and be part of a bigger experience versus just, all right, here's your print, radio, TV, social, all that. Now, it'll involve social and all the other pieces of it, but we like to use different activations and relationships to really kind of drive the brand and message.
So it's an integrated approach.
Integrated approach.
Yeah.
And a big part of that is Wonder Bus Entertainment, which we unveiled, which Sully's played on a couple times. I know you know it.
Yeah, I've seen it around San Diego.
And so we converted 2 of these double-decker buses.
So cool.
Had this idea early on around our festival the first year, but we were just so busy I couldn't get to it. And convert the top deck to full-on in-ear drum kit, can have up to 8 or 9 different musicians on it. Becomes a rolling sound stage that we can take to different events. You can use it instead of having to get sound, light, people putting all that stuff up, it comes to you.
So how did that idea come to you? I mean, literally this bus just rolls around town with the artists singing on top of the bus, and then people are in the bus, hanging out.
People can be down below. You can rent it out and do things of that nature. Well, just started thinking about other,
Was it a COVID brainstorm?
I think it was before that. It's just it's funny, we talk about surfing early. Some of my best ideas, I think, come right after a long surf and the endorphins, and I'm walking up from Black's Beach, and I got about a 15-minute walk, and it's you by yourself, and I just get really creative thoughts at that time. Oh, I love them. So I just had that thought, just wouldn't that be cool if we created something like that? And it took on a life of its own during COVID, because it was a time when somebody said no music, no acts, everybody's isolated, and what we said was, you know what, we're going to do it in a safe way. We'll bring the music to the people during that time period. Infinium Spirits, who we took on as our first client of Dream On, also bought the naming rights to that first Wonder Bus, which they still have today. So the bus that you see going around is the Infinium Spirits Wonder Bus, and we take it to different activations. We take it to different bars, restaurants that support Infinium Spirits. We want to support them. And we bring the joy of music to, you know, we've had probably 130 bands, local bands. That
what kind of feedback are you getting?
Well, I mean, it's like 99% of people love it. There's always 1% that goes, it's too loud or whatever. But the beauty is, if there's a problem or a noise complaint, we rock, we roll, we roll on.
Exactly.
It's
just
not a
move
problem.
on.
We'll move to the next spot. And
Seatbelts on, people.
if there's cities or other areas that don't love it as much, there's a lot of cities that love what we're doing. So that's been a big part of our success and fun, and we joke about it because you usually can hear it before you see it. And it does very special things. So that will continue to grow. And then we've got a great staff. Kathy, who was with me at the sports arena, came over. She's our business manager. Have Sarah on the bus, and I just
I've witnessed them in action. It's really, really good. So let's dive into Dream On just for another minute or so, because you work with some charities. Boys to Men, is that what your charity is?
Exactly. So Boys to Men Mentoring is a charity that really became close to me about 7 years ago. Joe Segerson, who was one of the co-creators with Craig on that, and just to turn the needle. Comes back to relationships again. All these people that had, for years I've been doing favors for, it was a chance to turn back and say, you know what, we have a chance, let's put on this one-of-a-kind golf tournament that we created. We're now in year 6. It's called Caddy Hack. We do it every August.
So
everybody dresses up in different, you know, kind of Caddyshack themes. I always come as Judge Snell with the hat and everything else. We do 216 golfers, 54 groups. And it's all about teamwork. It's one foursome versus another foursome on each hole. So you're playing against another foursome, best ball, 2 people tee off at the same time.
It's like a couple hundred people,
206 people, it's full. We use all 27 holes at either Fairbanks Ranch or at Morgan Run. And then we feature live bands on different holes. And we also have different food and beverage. So it's really showcasing beer and spirits and all of that of San Diego. And then different live bands that you get to discover. So it goes back to kind of this 30 years of live music that I've been in the middle of. So, and it becomes the most fun golf tournament. And we've now broken one of those out for Infinium Spirits. We just did an Infinium Spirits Golf Invitational for the 2nd year, had a petting zoo at the end of it. People are like, what does a petting zoo have to do with golf? Exactly.
And do the boys show up, the kids that you mentor?
They do. They come back for Boys to Men. They mentor them. They tell their story, and we raise a couple $100,000 or more every year for that.
So much fun. Such a fun business. We're talking to Ernie Hahn. We'll be back in a few minutes with more to come from Ernie, so stay tuned. You're watching The Hunt on Trish.